Hey guys, what's up? So I had this melody stuck in my head and I kind of thought it would sound good on guitar. And I was thinking maybe I'd do like another kind of chill lo-fi vibe guitar beat like I did in my last video. And so I recorded it and this is what the guitar sounds like. And so after I recorded that in, I decided I needed to add some chords. And that's kind of when I decided this wasn't really going to be a chill lo-fi vibe beat. But yeah, let me show you guys how it turned out. So just to show you guys real quick the processing I have on my guitar, basically I have it running through this compressor, the VC2A, and the kind of stock Ableton Blues amp cabinet. This is my favorite thing to add to my guitar, honestly, is this crystalline reverb by Baby Audio. And I don't do a whole lot of it, just you'll see here it's on the 35 for dry and wet. But without it, it sounds like this. And then with it, just gives it that really nice shimmer. I have that, I have some chorus, some delay, and then my usual saturation, some EQ8 just to cut the highs and the lows, and a couple of those harsh frequencies, and another compressor to just sidechain it to my kick. Okay, so for my chords, I'm using the Stage 73, which is honestly like this is my favorite Rhodes piano. Like this is from the Arturia V collection and I just got it a couple weeks ago. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of obsessed with it. And I'm using it on everything right now. So I'm using the Dreamy Tine Pad preset. And I just changed some of these settings down here, the brightness and the timbre, just to make it fit the song a little bit better. Like I'm not gonna lie, I usually don't know what key I'm in when I just have like a melody in my head. I have to figure it out after the fact. So I recorded my guitar and I ended up with these chords. I just did some basic triads to kind of get it to fit together. And we're in G sharp minor. So these are what it sounds like with the basic triads that I added. And after I had that figured out, you'll see I have these notes that I've kind of ghosted out here. I just kind of added some extra notes in here that are obviously still in the G sharp key, but just to kind of add some more complexity and color to the chords. And you can see what it sounds like with these added. So it's not a huge change, but you add just a little bit of color to these chords. Especially something like this, where you have all of these notes so close together. You get some really nice tension and you can create some really nice chord progressions that way. Okay, so if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I love to layer my chords. So I added another layer of these chords. So I had the Rhodes playing, and then I added this preset called In the Space from Analog Lab 5, and that one by itself sounds like this. It's very kind of ethereal and ambient, and it goes really well with the Rhodes because you get the nice kind of attack from the Rhodes, and then you get that nice sustain from this pad sound. So the next thing I added was kind of like this vocal pad, and this was actually the first preset I picked, which I never picked the first preset. But this is the first one I picked, and it actually sounded really nice. So I ended up just kind of tweaking these a little bit to taste. but just like kind of a real nice ambient pad in the back. And so with the chords, it's kind of really nice, subtle in the background there. So the processing for all of these is pretty much the same. I'm using basically a stock saturator, an EQ8 just to cut off mainly the lows, kind of dampen the highs a little bit. And I'm using the convolution reverb. And I like to EQ my reverb as well. I just kind of cut at around 10K and right here at about 100 or so, just so it doesn't muddy up the highs and the lows. And then I just have a compressor with it sidechained to my kick. So the next thing I added was my bass, and you'll see here I actually have my bass layered as well. So I have kind of a sub bass, which sounds like this. And then I added kind of a respace sound on top of it, just to kind of add a little higher end in the bass and to give it a little bit of movement. So just a pretty simple bass pattern there that kind of follows along with the chords. So the drums, I kind of did a pretty simple kick and snare pattern. And I'm actually using a clap, not a snare. I think the most interesting thing here are my hi-hats. So let me pull up that. So kind of just some 16th notes, and I've added a few like trap style rolls in there. And a couple of these lower hi-hat hits just to kind of accent things. And you want to make sure that you mess with your velocity here just so it doesn't sound like a drum machine playing it. I also added a few snippets of some samples. So I had this drum loop sample and I cut out this section that sounds like a little bit of a trap roll as well, a hi-hat roll. So I cut that from the sample and pitched it a little bit and added it to just add some extra pizzazz to the drums. And then I also have this hit, this high open hi-hat hit as well. The only thing I did differently for these hi-hats, you can see that I have some auto pan just so it goes kind of back and forth. And I've boosted the highs just a little bit to make them a little crispier. So I have just a few transition or effects pieces in this as well. So just at the very beginning, I have this reverse cymbal hit. Just to kind of build into that. And then before we hit our kind of B section, I have, this is actually a reverse chord. So I took my Rhodes chords that I showed you guys already, and I converted it into audio, and I chopped just the last chord. So it's actually the same chord that's playing at the end here, and I reversed it. So by itself, it sounds like this. So it just kind of builds a little bit of tension, so with everything. So yeah, really subtle, but just kind of a nice way to build some tension before hitting that B section. And then again, I have just the same reverse cymbal hit before we hit that last chorus. I felt like I was missing something, so I found these nice bells in the hybrid keys from Native Instruments. It's called Quartz Comets, and just really, really subtle. It sounds like this. And with everything. So it just kind of adds a little bit of, you know, something, something. And when I hit my B section here, I actually took my guitar and I've actually just double tracked it. So I recorded it twice, and I have one panned hard left and one panned hard right, just to make it a little beefier. And I recorded kind of a counter melody to go with it, which sounds like this. And the last thing I did was added some vocal chops from Arcade. That's pretty much it. So I'll go ahead and play the whole beat for you guys. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, share, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.